Hey everybody, this is Clayton, and I'm so excited to welcome you to the first episode of the CBCF Champions podcast. I'm here today with Executive Director Dominic Mantuano of the Connecticut Burns Care Foundation. Dom, thank you so much for joining me today on this episode, and say hi to your listeners.
So I want to thank you very much. I appreciate it so much on our very first podcast. This is so exciting. I am so excited to bring this new media with you to them, the champions.
Dominic, I know that CBCF has got a great mission. It's got a great offer, and it does wonderful, life-changing things for the students and the survivors. But I'd like to get to know you a little bit. And so I was wondering, if just in brief, could you let me know your backstory? Like, how did you wind up as the executive director of the CBCF Burns Care Foundation?
Well, it all begins because of my career background in singing, opera, Broadway, performing. In 1999, I became the Grand Champion Performer of the World from the World Championships of Performing Arts, which allowed me the opportunity to meet a lot of different people and sing in a lot of different places, and to actually be out there for people to see what I do. 3 years ago, I got married to a very beautiful young lady who lived in Connecticut. I lived in New Jersey. She had the house, I had the townhome. She wins, she brings me up to Connecticut. And
well done. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Through her church, there was a gentleman named Bob Kepchar who actually was a elder and interviewed me to become a member of the church of my wife's church. Through that, I found out that he was a deputy chief from the fire department, and he found out what I did in singing. That's where that comes from. He found out I could do that. Through this, since I was a former firefighter, officer, EMT.
Right. I know you've done that. I know you've done that in the past. So you already had that in common with this gentleman you met, Bob, you said.
Absolutely.
That's
I
amazing.
was 13 years in the service while building my career in voice. So Bob saw the uniqueness in how I could help the Connecticut Burns Care Foundation.
Yeah.
Immediately I thought, that's it. I want to sing for the children, and I can donate the benefits from the concert to the children.
Amazing.
So Bob said, but before you do that, how would you like to come to camp, which we'll get to in a minute, and see the children and see what the money goes for?
That's awesome. And that's how you first got connected with CBCF.
Absolutely. It changed my life.
That's amazing. Well, I can't wait to hear more about that. So, and it was through that relationship that you stayed connected with CBCF. You continued to sing for the students at camp, and you grew in those relationships. And now you're the executive director of the Burns Care Foundation.
Absolutely. It was all sort of meant to be. The road was paved. After I went to camp, I became very good friends with the then director, Kathleen Garrity, and its office administrator, Susan Howard.
Yeah.
I literally became friends with them personally.
That's great.
And we were doing concerts and musical entertainment for the children. When it came time for Kathleen to move on, I was actually coming into the office to just simply offer Bob another concert coming up February. And he told me about that Kathleen was moving on.
Oh, wow.
I asked him, I said, do you need a college degree to interview for the role?
Right.
Bob looked at me and he said, no, not necessarily this time.
What you need is a care for these survivors and for the organization. And it sounds like you already had that, having worked with the organization as a volunteer and a co-fundraiser for the last 3 years. That's amazing.
It really was, and I was so honored, and I interviewed, supposedly, I guess I interviewed really well, and throughout all the people who did, they chose me to bring this in a new direction, a breath of fresh air, and you're a big part of that.
Well, Dominic, I'm so happy that I could help you tell the story of the Connecticut Burns Care Foundation, to just create engagement with your audience, those who have contributed in the past and those who are going to contribute in the future. I've got another question for you. We're so often we're driven by our desires, we're driven by our passions, and so my question to you is like, what is that thing inside of you, that drum that gets beat, that brings you in to work with CBCF every day? Like, what is the desire that you're trying to accomplish?
The desire I'm trying to accomplish is the children that we get to send to camp 1 week a year.
That's amazing.
To just be kids.
Yeah.
These children are more than anybody could ever imagine or expect. Mm-hmm. They are champions. They're survivors. They're heroes. You see, they have a spirit and a will and a knowledge that I'll never accomplish. I can only share in it. It is an honor to work with these champions. Mm-hmm. And they teach me so much that I turn around and the life lesson is actually given to me. And I just want to be a part of their world, to see them smile, to see them succeed, to see them achieve anything they want to achieve. So that gives me the drive every day to do whatever I can for them.
That's amazing. Now, you've mentioned it a couple times, but we've not gone into detail about, what the main thing that the Connecticut Burns Care Foundation does, like what it exists to do and provide. And so I was wondering if you could, in a few sentences, explain what exactly is the camp that you went and visited.
Okay, so like you said, our main focus is the camp, the Arthur C. Luff Burn Camp, which we send 8 to 18-year-olds 1 week a year in July up to this camp so they just can be kids.
And does it cost them anything?
No, $0 to $0, door to door, not a cent. They go for free to just be kids, and they get to experience everything any camper would get to experience. Rope course, archery, crafts, arts, food, bunking, swimming, fishing, dancing, arts, craft. They get to do it
More
all.
arts and crafts.
More arts and crafts. I said it twice. But
yeah, I get it. And what makes these students, these kids that are between the ages of 8 and 18, what makes them unique, and what makes the camp's existence unique? Because we've not quite said it yet.
Well, what makes the kids unique is they come in the beginning one way, and they leave with a completely different thought and attitude at the end. Okay. They get to grow with others who are just like them and realize they can just be kids, that they are surrounded by their brothers and sisters who are a fraternity of survivors who get to achieve and succeed in doing whatever they want to do.
That's amazing. So it sounds like the camp is a really transformative experience.
It is. It's so transformative that you actually get to see it in progress. It's not something you have to wait for. You see it in their smiles. You see it in their excitement to go out and do things. Archery, ropes course, like I said, swimming. They get to do it all and just laugh, have fun, and camp. And you said what also makes the camp unique. Yeah. It's run by all volunteers.
Such as firefighters, nurses, former campers, people with a passion to help the survivors.
They themselves go there and teach the survivors the rope course, the archery, the paintball. They are part of it because they're firefighters. Right. They have an understanding. And they are there for them 24/7. They stay up there with the children, and they get to be a part of the experience where lifetime friendships are absolutely welded.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's so cool. Now, a lot of the people who are going to be listening or watching here on YouTube, they already know what the Connecticut Burns Care Foundation is and what it does. But if you happen to be a visitor, right? If somebody has cued you in to this podcast or the YouTube videos, then they want you to know something special about CBCF, and they want you to know that CBCF is special in what it does and what it offers.
So if I may, Clayton,
Yeah, absolutely.
the burn camp itself is for survivors
Yeah.
of burns. And these children, no matter how or what percentage of the burn, can come to this camp, no matter how severe or not severe, whatever the case may be, and just be a kid. It's that statement.
Yeah,
Just
be a kid.
be a kid. They're not looked at, they're not judged, they're not put under a microscope. This is the week they get to be themselves and gain the confidence, strength, and mental fortitude they'll need to take back with them to know that they have their brothers and sisters and we
Right.
have their back.
Because they've had an experience that very few people can share. And it's very likely that many in their community don't know what they've been through on a personal level. But what you're saying is that at the CBCF camp, they get to experience life with a community of people that they can relate to. And so they no longer feel like an other. They feel the sense of community. And you keep saying that they really develop relationships with brothers and sisters that strengthens them, gives them the fortitude that when they leave camp, they're able to be successful in their life until next year's camp rolls around.
Exactly. It's like their rejuvenation is their fill up on their battery to come to camp, refill, recharge, remember that they are special, that they are unique in every way, that they're strong, and that they are absolutely champions and survivors.
That's amazing.
Also, I want to make it very clear, burns are, no matter what we do, we cannot cure it like other charities or diseases. Unfortunately, we can't cure it, but we also can eradicate it.
What are some of the obstacles that students and survivors, your champions, what are some of the obstacles that they have to overcome in order to make it to camp each year?
Okay, well, it's actually not too bad. If anybody who wants to come to camp, we have an application for a camper or for a counselor on our website.
That's great.
And it's easy to fill out the form, and then you are accepted. We will bring you to camp. You know what the biggest obstacle is?
Yeah. What?
It's getting this out there.
Oh, yeah.
It's letting them know this exists. That's our biggest obstacle. It's up to you to start to pass this around, saying they are here for you. They are fun. They want to help. They want to reach out to the families and to the people who need the assistance. That's the biggest obstacle.
That's amazing. So this is a perfect opportunity to stop and say, like, subscribe, and hit the share button. If there's somebody in your life who has had an experience like this and you would like to see them drawn into a community that cares for them, that knows what they're going through, and has the tools and the means to help equip them for a future life of success, then you've got to share this with them. Is that what you're saying, Dominic?
That is what I am saying. I am saying just that, my friend, that you need to reach out to us. But here's the best thing, Clayton.
Yeah.
This is not just me saying this into a camera and I'm not available.
Yeah.
You go to the website, call me here at the office. I'll talk to you. I'll say hello. Me.
Yeah.
And we will take you into our family. We'll walk you
amazing.
through.
Dom, I was wondering if maybe you could just share either a story from your own experience, or maybe even one of the great stories from the many years of camp, of, you know, what, like the epiphany moment where you watch the lights turn on for somebody and you were able to see that transformation you were talking about.
Clayton, that is so easy. I have the story.
Tell me about it.
I was brought to camp and I was being introduced to the survivors and I was seeing all the different things they can do. And it was humbling. It brought me to my knees.
Yeah.
These survivors, these heroes, champions, humbled me. I just stood there in awe of their strength I wanted to be them. I wanted to be a part of them because they showed me just how much I didn't even know about myself. So there is one individual survivor. His name is Mason. One of the most amazing people I have ever met. He had severe burns throughout the body. But yet when they introduced me to him, it was in the archery range. Archery. He looked at me and they said, "Do you, Dominic, you want to see Mason shoot the arrow?" I said, "Of course I do."
Yeah.
He looked up at me and he goes, "Here, let me show you." He takes the bow and arrow with special apparatus that this is what we do, but he has to aim it, he has to pull it, he has to shoot it.
Right.
Bullseye.
Amazing.
He did this all on his own. And the fortitude and the strength of which he did it, and looked at me with the confidence to say, "That's what I can do."
That's amazing.
I couldn't do that. I can't do that.
Right.
But because of his strength, mental fortitude, his heart, his constitution, his willingness to say, "This is me, not this is me,"
Incredible.
transformed anything I ever knew.
That's amazing. And so you mentioned the weight of the experience, how it impacted you, how it caused you to think about your able-bodiedness. And then you were able to see what this survivor, this champion Mason, what he was able to do.
It did. It inspired me. And Clayton, if I may say,
Yeah.
he inspires the others.
That's
You
amazing.
want to talk about a leader? In every group, there's a leader. There is somebody who will throw people on their back and say, "Follow me. I'll help. I'll be there for you. I'll be your brother." Mason is definitely their leader.
That's incredible. Dom, I've got a question for you, and perhaps maybe as the executive director, you could kind of answer this on behalf of CBCF.
Sure.
What kind of conflicts do you encounter as you try to provide this opportunity for kids every year?
The conflicts are not many because this story tells itself. I don't have to do much except explain and show what we do, and it tells itself. So what are the conflicts?
Yeah.
The conflicts are trying to renew and rejuvenate funding over and over and over again.
The relationship.
Because again, remember, there's no cure and we cannot eradicate burns. They're
Right.
always going to happen. Our job will never end. So as time marches on, we need to renew, rejuvenate, and reassess the funding because it's an average of $2,500 per camper to send them to camp. Remember,
Yeah.
they don't pay a thing.
Right.
So our biggest conflict is just making sure that we have that funding, that any survivor wants to go to camp,
Can go.
they can go.
That's incredible. It sounds like in a lot of ways having a life-changing experience. These survivors, your students, they have the opportunity to have a life-changing experience, but they need a lifetime partner.
Yes,
Right?
yes, they need a lifetime of people who will support them to go year after year after year because again, it's not like we've cured them or we've made it better. Yes, we made it better, I'm sorry, but we can't cure burns.
Right.
So
Right.
they go every year to recharge their battery. It's not
Yeah.
like, oh, well, they went 1 year, we're all good and everything's hunky-dory.
Right, right.
It's not like that. They get to go between the ages of 8 and 18. And then, may I say, a lot of them return as counselors.
That's amazing.
Because they want to continue, they want to help, they want to reach
Yeah.
out to their brothers and sisters, and they want to bring forth the message that you are special. So
Yeah.
therefore, it is that year after year after year that we need to keep sending them, and that takes the funding.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I'm so proud to say that over 90% of the funding goes to the children. We do not have conglomerations that absorb the money and we can only give so much to the children. Our goal is to give it all to the children, so they walk away with something exciting and new. And here's the best part. The people who give get to feel it too.
That's amazing.
They get to know the children. They get to see where it goes. They get to know what they are doing. They are changing a life. They are literally sending them there to get rejuvenated, to go back home, to last another year with their excitement and power, and to literally turn around and say, I'm going to show the way. These people can then say, do you know who I give to? I give to the Connecticut Burns Care Foundation. You got to look this up. And you can be proud of them looking up our website and saying, this is what you give to? Yes, I do. Because look at those champions. Look at those survivors. Those smiles are because I'm going to continue to send a kid to camp.
Dominic, I'm excited. I mean, everything you just said to me, you've got my heart racing. Now, I've known you for a few years, and I know your background as an EMS, as an officer and a firefighter. And what I know about you is you love to help. You just want to help anybody you can. And I think it's incredible. And I think you would say this too, that God has led you into this opportunity to help CBCF. Now, we've got a lot of people listening, and we got some people watching today, or maybe they're watching this a year from now, but they want to help too. And so if somebody's watching today, what is the first step that they can take to begin to help send these students to camp so that they can partner with this life-changing opportunity?
Absolutely. The first step is the easiest step, Clayton. It is the easiest thing in the world. Go to the website, like everybody says, but go to our website. That is www.ctburnsfoundation.org. There it is right in front of you. When you pop it up, there is everything on the webpage. Right on the first page, you will need to donate. At the bottom is our donate button, but if you don't want to go that far, right up at the top is the QR code. Everything is there, from our director's message to our cause, to who we are, to who our board of directors are.
Background, your
Everything
history,
is on this.
it's all there.
It's all there, and it's that easy. www.ctburnsfoundation.org, and you can start helping a champ.